What is up, everybody, and welcome to our Christmas special edition of the All NBA podcast. I'm Adam Mares. He is Tim Legler. Legs, 5 games on this Christmas slate. You ready to break them down?
Let's do it. Can't wait. I love the slate that we have, and I'm just hoping we get some dramatic finishes. That's all I'm hoping for Christmas as I'm relaxing on my living room sofa. That's all I'm hoping for.
There's some games I like and some I don't. The first one we're going to talk about is a game I don't like. The Bucks come in, according to DraftKings Sportsbook, the Bucks come in as 3.5 points favorites over the New York Knicks. The last time they met, Bucks won in the in-season tournament. Bucks won 146-122. Julius Randle had 41 points. Giannis had 35. All right, Legs, what do you think is going to happen in this game?
Well, first, I agree. I mean, that's not necessarily the matchup I would have gone with from the league's perspective. I do think there's something about the energy in MSG for a game like this on Christmas, and a guy like Giannis and what he provides. The energy is going to be awesome. And I think maybe that is a good way to kick off the day in that building because it's noon. You know, you got a lot going on, family coming in and out of the house. You're like opening presents and all that. And now you got this game on. You're going to be paying attention to it. I think the MSG crowd will get him into it. And I also think the matchup between Brunson and Lillard is fascinating to me because I think Jalen Brunson is one of those guys that he's got guys like this in his crosshairs. Man, he gets a guy like Damian Lillard, and Lillard's not a guy that's going to, fight over picks. Brunson's going to be able to get his spots off ball screen and put up a big number, and I think he's going to relish the stage. He's a big game player, no bigger marquee than being on a on a Christmas Day game at home, Bucks in town. I think Jalen Brunson has a big game and lights them up. I'm not sure if they win the game, but I think Brunson's going to be a guy that maybe goes for 35-40.
This is exactly how I feel on both accounts. I think the Bucks win this game. The Bucks being able to put up almost 150 points in their last, by the way, high-profile matchup being on the in-season tournament game. I just think the Bucks probably have enough to win. And of course, the Knicks dealing with a little bit of injuries. I do like how Isaiah Hartenstein has been playing, but you're talking about still a little bit of a new lineup, a new rotation for the Knicks. But I also agree that I think Jalen Brunson, I would not be surprised if he looked like on this very one game, if he looked like the best player on the court, because as you mentioned, he's a big game player. He seems to be best when the bright lights are on. And I just feel like he could be a guy that goes off in this one. Let's go to the Warriors at Nuggets. Nuggets come in as a 5.5 point favorite. And that line is climbing. We're recording these on a Friday. I think that the books are being safe because you don't know injury reports. You don't know what's going on. So you keep those lines a little bit low. But the Nuggets 5.5 point favorites at home. They don't lose at home when they have their starting 5 legs. How do you see this one going?
Yeah, I think this is an interesting one because Golden State finally getting their act together a little bit. And I think, we're recording it, but if they take care of business against Washington and Portland going into the Christmas Day game, that's 5 straight. And they should win both of those games at home. So that's 5 straight wins. And it's a good time for them to be going up against Denver. At the end of the day, it's the difference is Jokic, right? And the front line. And I think that's going to be a real problem for Golden State, his ability to control the game. But at least now the Warriors have climbed out of this pit that they were in. And if they can just continue to try to keep their head above water, waiting on Draymond to get back, whenever that's going to be, at least now, look, they're back in the mix again. And you're talking about they're playing well. Klay Thompson is playing much better. Curry's been unbelievable. So, but do they have enough for a team like Denver dealing with what you have to with Jokic? That's hard for me to imagine Denver dropping that game at home.
The last time they played was November 9th. Denver won 108-105. In that game, no Draymond Green as well. There's also no Jamal Murray. Jokic had 35 and 13. This is why I like in this game, Jokic triple-double bet. I mean, they clearly can't guard him, but I think they'll be sending help and seeing what else other people have. And I think he is a triple-double. He gets triple-double almost half of his game, so it's not a crazy bet. It's probably going to be somewhere around plus 115 or something on DraftKings. But I like that bet. And then I like Jamal Murray points. Him not being there last game, this is one where I think he's going to be able to shake free. They don't have all of their defenders there. And then lastly, I like Steph Curry points. I mean, look, he has been carrying them. Denver struggles guarding. There's no surprise. Denver struggles guarding an open space in pick and roll with Jokic. So I think Steph goes off. I think the stars shine. Jokic triple-double, Murray points, and Steph points. I like all of those bets. Let's go over to Celtics. They are 2-point favorite at the Lakers. They'll be in L.A. all weekend as they play the Clippers first. They get a night off, and then they play the Lakers on Christmas Day. The Celtics have won 6 of their last 7. The Lakers have lost 5 of their last 6. What do you see in this one?
Yeah, first, I don't know who the Celtics ticked off to have to go away. As much winning as they've done in recent memory, you have to go to the West Coast for, the Clippers and the
Yep.
Lakers, like right around Christmas and on Christmas Day and be away from home. Uh, look, here's the thing with the Lakers. We know that they haven't been the same team since the in-season tournament. They're just not playing well. They don't look that enthused. But these are the kind of games that LeBron James likes to dial it up. And
100%.
right, and you get a matchup like this, you get a Jason Tatum, in front of you, and you get all eyes on you. LeBron loves that attention and craves that, and it's like a good way for him to remind everybody: go ahead, talk about us all you want to. This is what we're capable of when we get serious. So I actually think I kind of like the Lakers in this game, assuming everybody plays. I kind of like the Lakers in this game for that reason. I see LeBron kind of making that his personal showcase.
So when I look at on paper and try to break down just thinking about like how these teams match up, I think it's a great matchup for the Celtics. They're most vulnerable to teams that make a lot of threes, and the Lakers can't make threes. So you think, okay, strength versus weakness there. And then on top of that, both teams are very good at not fouling, and the Lakers to rely on winning the free throw battle. So I feel like a lot of the numbers point to the Celtics being good, but I love your point about LeBron. He's good on Christmas Day. He's been doing Christmas night. He's been on Christmas for 20 years. He's always a marquee game there, and he almost always delivers. So for me, the Lakers are two teams. They are in-season tournament, marquee matchup. Okay, they're one team. All the other games, they're a different team. Well, this is a marquee matchup, Christmas Day game. So I'm with you that I like the Lakers in this matchup, even though I think the Celtics are a far better team. 76ers at Heat. The Heat are 1-point favorites in this game. Kind of crazy given the
Yeah.
run that the 76ers are on, that they come in as underdogs going into Christmas. Do you agree with the books?
Well, I think this has been a sort of a nemesis game for the Sixers. I think that's why this
Yep.
particular matchup, and this is an interesting one because um, this could be a first round playoff matchup.
Oh
And
man, would that be
right,
great?
yeah, I mean there's a good chance. I mean, I think Philadelphia, very good chance they're going to end up in the third spot. I mean, even as good as they are, and I do think this is a better option for them in the playoffs than this team, than any that Embiid's had. You still have Milwaukee and Boston. I just think they're going to win at a higher rate, which would probably put Philly in the 3 spot. And look, that 6 spot right now, that's where Miami is. But there's a good chance that's where they end up. I think they'll be right there battling with like the Knicks and Cleveland. Like those 3 teams, I think one of them will end up 6. Could be the Heat. And the Heat and Jimmy Butler in particular, very comfortable playing against Philadelphia 76ers. So that's kind of what maybe this could be for me as a preview of what we might get best of 7 of going forward. And this time, Philadelphia would go into that matchup without James Harden, like struggling as he did in that series a couple years ago when the Heat beat them. So
Right.
that's what I'm looking for. When they play each other, it always seems to me it feels like a playoff game when these two teams go at it.
So Joel Embiid is checking off some boxes. I criticized him the other day for playing against Detroit. He's healthy. Washington. He's healthy. He takes on the challenge of that Minnesota game and he performs 51 points. We know how that went. This is another. It's weird to say, but I'm going to call it again a measuring stick game for both teams. Is Miami still the team that can upset the juggernauts out east as they did last year? This is a big chance for them to do it on a huge stage, which we know they love. And then the 76ers, you stacked up what I would call very quality win against Minnesota. That's a great win. You get 2 of those in 1 week. And I just feel like, all right, the 76ers are going to start to get on everybody's radar as you keep calling them the 3rd best team in the East. And I think that's fair right now, but they have a chance in the coming weeks, and it starts with Christmas. Actually, it started with Minnesota, but it continues with the Heat. If they pick up those ones, we might have to look at them a little bit differently. And then lastly, we have the Mavs and the Phoenix Suns. This one's a rivalry game. The Suns come in as 4.5-point favorites in this one. Both teams have lost 3 of 4 coming into Friday. What do you make of this matchup?
Yeah, we talk about stages and who embraces it and who loves it. Does anybody love that kind of thing more than Luka Doncic? And
No.
remember, this is a guy that went on the road in a game 7 and completely annihilated the Phoenix Suns and took them out. And basically
And called
did
his
it.
shot. He called his
Yeah,
shot beforehand, too, basically saying, hey, they're
absolutely.
acting tough right now, but we'll see.
And it felt like he was just single-handedly did that. He returns to the scene of the crime. for that. And who would have thought we'd be sitting here 27 games in for the Phoenix Suns and looking at them as just slightly above 500. They've had a very difficult time getting their 3 stars on the court together. We still don't know exactly what that's going to look like. They've got no rhythm as far as that goes. They're not a very good defensive team. And look, Dallas is cooled off a little bit since that hot start that they had, but they still have Luka Doncic, and his ability to control the game is unlike just about any other player in the league. And I think he's going to be looking as this nightcap on Christmas Day slate as his stage, much like we said LeBron James would treat that game with Boston.
I am looking forward to this game a lot. I love this one just because of the bad blood between these teams. And on top of that, how bad both teams need a win. They have not been good over the last week and a half or so, neither one of them. And you're looking at them pretty close to each other in the standings. This might even be a game, depending on how Friday and Saturday go, where whichever team wins flips in the standings. But I just love it. It's a rivalry game. And I'll tell you what, I don't believe in either team right now. The Mavs might get Lively back. They might get Kyrie Irving back. And that it's hard to predict this game without knowing if those guys are playing or not. Right. But if they play, I like Dallas in this game. I'm more worried about the Suns right now, figuring out their identity, than I am the Mavs, who I think a lot of this has to do with just health and, shot variance, which is why they're not a great team. But I'm going to take the Mavs as the nightcap against the Suns in Phoenix. I know that makes our producer Emma upset, but I gotta pick with what I think here, Legs. I'm excited for it, Legs. Merry Christmas to you. We get a little break off, but we'll come back and talk these Christmas games. But Merry Christmas to you. I hope you have a great one.
We will come back on Tuesday after these games, which is also my birthday. So I'm giving you an Emma heads up. If you guys have time to prepare a nice gift for me or something like that. So Tuesday is my birthday. And it's the most anticlimactic day of the year, in case you're wondering. I've had that birthday my whole life, and no one really cares about it. So that's that. But I just wanted to give you a heads up.
There you go, man. Well, Merry Christmas, and then we'll have a birthday celebration for you on Tuesday. Everybody, thanks for watching this. Don't forget to use DraftKings Sportsbook if you're making your holiday bets on the games. Hit that like button on the way out, and we'll see you on Tuesday.
We all silly like the mayor.